Hi folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, we're reviewing some adventures for the HellFrost campaign setting published by Triple Ace Games. We reviewed the HellFrost setting previously, and it is a high fantasy setting with some really unpleasant things going on in the background. That is, permanent winter is coming on and you don't really know why. Now, today we are going to be reviewing 3 adventures that are specifically made for this setting. Lair of the Vermin Lord is the first of these adventures. As I mentioned previously, it is difficult to review adventures because I don't want to give away a whole lot of, well, here's what's really going on behind the scenes in case you want to play these. So I'm going to go as lightly on these in terms of plot as I can and talk about the overall structure of the adventure in comparison. Like all of the Triple Ace products, once you download these, there's actually a button on the first couple pages you can click on that turns off the background, which makes these a lot more printer friendly if you don't want to burn through a whole mess of toner or ink, depending on the printer you have. But if you like the background, if you're more likely to leave this an electronic copy, you can just as easily leave that turned on. First adventure, Lair of the Vermin Lord. This is an adventure for beginning characters. They kind of tell you that it's at the beginning because these adventures are numbered and lettered accordingly. So N means novice, which are beginning characters. N1, this can very easily be your first adventure. This assumes you don't have very many advances or levels, for those of you out there that aren't familiar with Savage Worlds, under your belt. This adventure deals with a spreading plague and sort of the why behind it. It is a nice combination of overland adventure dealing with some non-player characters, particularly some grumpy guards outside of a village. There's a bit of a, I don't want to call it a dungeon crawl, but that's kind of what it is, an underground area through which you need to go to figure out what's going on and to stop the bad guy. A couple of nice puzzles or just thinking things through that you have to work through there as well. It's a beginning adventure for HellFrost. If your players really don't know what it's about, it's a nice way for them to get exposed to some of the background, why it's so freaking cold all the time, and that this is a setting that can be high adventure, but at the same time, it's not something you really want to mess around with. The next adventure we'll be discussing is The Dark Seed, N2, which is the second of the novice adventures. Now, in this second novice adventure, it assumes you have a little bit more experience under your belt, but they don't always necessarily assume that this is going to be the exact campaign that you follow. In this, it essentially deals with an elven druid who gets a little kooky-fied, and all of a sudden the plants start taking over everything. Again, adventures are kind of hard to do, so I won't give you any more detail than that. What it gives you, though, is a very interesting adventure with a lot of good pieces in it that you have to go through. You have to sort of solve some of the riddles, suss out the mysteries that are going on, some decent combats included therein. The main difference being toward the end here, you end up fighting more of a plant-based theme than you do, say, something boring like orcs. It is a very interesting adventure if you're looking for something slightly different but still in the novice area. Again, introducing your players to a lot of the really good backstory and deep history that is the HellFrost setting. Final one to review is Shadow of Darkness. And this one is the first of what they call the Saga of the Frost Giants. You have to escort this caravan going to where it needs to go, and it's sort of dealing with some of the mystery of keeping everything from attacking it, why they're attacking it, and what's really going on behind the scenes. This adventure is labeled N3, but to be very honest with you, I get the feeling from reading through it that you almost need more of a seasoned level people running through the games because there's a lot that you have to fight here. One of the nicer things about this is there's a very tactile nature to the Savage Worlds game, and it really encourages miniature use. They give you paper miniatures you can use for a lot of the bad guys. In fact, included in the backs of all of these adventures are some of the little paper figure flats you can print out, cut out, glue, and you have disposable miniatures you can run around. There's nothing quite as fun when you have these little paper flats as when you kill a goblin, you can just go, and the little thing is flattened, it lays there, it looks like a corpse. It's sort of an immature, visceral fun that you get. They give you figure flats for wagons that you can use here. And wagon mules to sort of drag them around, pictures of what it should look like, that can really be used in a wide variety of places. All of the Triple Ace game adventures that you will see in this or in almost any of their line contain really well done maps and figure flats that you can use for your adventures, as well as just some beautifully assembled and very easy to read adventures and PDF files. If you like HellFrost or you're interested in some Savage Worlds fantasy games that don't necessarily have to be stuck into the HellFrost setting, I highly recommend you get these products, which are available from the Triple Ace Games website seen below. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.